es wird sehr wahrscheinlich eine ereignisreiche Saison sein mit den ganzen Strecken. Also ich freue mich auf jeden Fall drauf.
Dann würde er den Punkterekord einstellen.
Hat mega Spaß gemacht, auch mit dem ganzen Team, 6 von 6 Titeln, das schafft man nicht jede Season.
Ach ja, General schon auf 2. Oh, du sagst richtig.
Aber kannst du behaupten, bleibt was. Oh! Face liegt gesagt! Klassiker-Rombolage!
Also,
oh ja,
der versucht. Und da schlägt's ein und das ist Tom. Der fährt den Ferrari hinten drauf und der Ferrari fliegt.
Oh! Das war. Oh! Was zur Hölle?
Reicht das? Er versucht außenrum! Und er schafft's!
Und da geht's ab zwischen den beiden.
Und JL geht unter der Tribüne. Das wird nichts.
Muss ich ihm kurz vorbei bremsen oder so?
Und geschickt.
Er gebombt gar keinen Platz.
Das ist klar, dass es da geknallt hat. Also
im Quali habe ich erstmal rumgeschrieben vor Freude und nach diesen paar Aktionen im Rennen habe ich rumgeschrieben vor Fuß.
Nicht so ganz weit weg kann Tom. Ja, er sticht rein. Mops hat keine Chance und da kommt Tom. Oh, was gibt das? Nein, das war Miliodai. Fliegt ab. Der sein Auto verloren hat. Und
Juggernaut! Fahren zu zweit durch. Sparky gewinnt das Rennen.
Und jetzt kam Blocky. Nein, nicht!
Oh Gott, Lester, oh Gott!
Halt raus. Und da gibt's die Berührung. Given und Millennials. Beides. Oh mein Gott. Sehr gemacht. Der BJS und Frau dreht sich.
Und doch nicht vorbei. Während. Oh, Dave dreht sich.
Damit bleibt auf 1, holt sich den letzten Sieg, den man holen kann.
So, welcome to Spa today, with a rather different race for race 274 of the Schnittchenliga League. So obviously this is a very famous track, very useful. So in only 13 races, only 2 winners have won from outside the front row of the grid. So we've got 19 turns here for the 7-kilometer track, 4.352 miles, 3 DRS zones, excuse me. Actually 2, I lied. So obviously very famous track here, a lot of corners which can catch you out, and obviously a lot of people have loved it. So it's quite from quite far behind. The lowest podium finisher started from P14, which is quite good. And we could see something like that today. So we've got the C3 tyres, the C2 tyres and the C1 tyres. The C3 obviously being the fastest, C2s being 6 times slower on average, and C3s being 1.2. So our predicted strategies is a 1-stop, soft to mediums, or another 1-stop, medium to soft. So it's quite clear what we're going to be having today. So here in turn 1, a lot of things can go wrong. As we're seeing here, a lot of carnage, a lot can go wrong here. From turn 4 to 6, Fly 2 versus Tom, some very intense battles going on there. Obviously a lot of touching, not amazing stuff there, but we love to see it. Turns 18 to 19, a lovely move around the outside, just, you love to see it. So, coming into practice now, and there's a lot that can go happen here, and of course, in classic F1 2020 style, I've got no audio. There we go. So, we're on board with Rise here. And, yeah, it's going to be an exciting race. I'm new here, a newcom. So, not know much what to expect here, except some lovely racing. And, we could see anything, really. We could see anything. So, we're in 30 minutes practice here. And we're just going to see where the grid's going to stack up today. So, 45.2 being the marker that's been laid down on the hards. And, well, it'd be great to see what will happen, what can happen. Yeah, there's a lot which can happen. We're going to go on board with... We're going to go on board with Major here. He's in the Renault. Obviously, equal cars, equal machinery, anything, really, anyone could win. And there's a Williams off. That's shiny. Something's gone wrong here. Interesting. So anyway, this is going to be an exciting race, really. Spa always, most of the time, brings out great racing. Got a yellow flag for her. And yeah, I mean, anything really could happen. Seeing a nice little battle here with the Rennen and the Haas. And yeah, I mean, what we could see here is either some fantastic racing, some not so good racing, or anything in between. Obviously, coming from, I'm usually from other games, coming back to F1, it's interesting to see sort of how the racing's going to be. It's been a while since I've seen some properly brilliant racing, and from what I've heard, a lot of that can happen here, so yeah. So hello chat, by the way. I am not German, as you can probably tell. So something new here. They're trying to make this league a bit more international. And yeah, I mean, it's just it's gonna be a great time for everyone. Obviously, if maybe you want the audio to be a bit louder, you can tell me. Obviously, it's work in progress, I guess. So yeah, so everyone here is looking. Obviously, we've got two people in the 45s. It looks like Rise may have been on lower fuel, maybe not. You never know. And yeah, a rain race could be very exciting if it does end up happening here. I would truly, that would be great to see. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people probably doing high fuel runs now, trying to hide what their pace actually is. And yeah, I mean, anyone can have any pace, really. That's the great thing about practice. You can really hide what you have. And we see Zoxum on his outlap. He's the only one going on softs. Yeah, I mean, everyone else has gone on mediums. Some people have gone on the hards, just to see out what the car's like, and obviously just get a feeling of the track. Maybe they've done a bit less practice than some others. You know, you could see the fast people, and also, excuse me, this is a new season, round 1. So it'd be great to see where the field lies for this race, and there's a racing point missing. There is indeed. Hopefully they'll get in. Yeah, hopefully they'll get in. Yeah, on board with Zoxum here. We'll see whether... Well, apparently he's on the medium, so... Obviously, as you love it, the F1 telemetry's broken. Source engine's not there. Hopefully he'll get in. Yeah. Ah, he's absent. He's absent. Fair enough. So only 19 people on the grid then, and it's also looking quite like it's about to rain. It's looking like there's some clouds over the sky right now. So hopefully, maybe we could see some rain, and that would be truly fantastic. Ah. Fair enough. Hopefully you'll, when you replace him, or if you have replaced him, you'll be up on the top of the grid. But yeah, I mean, to practice, there's not always much that goes on. Let's see where Zoxum lies with his lap. He slots in the P10, about 3 seconds off the pace, but practice doesn't really matter. You could be anywhere through practice. So we'll have a look at, we'll go around and have a look at general here. So, I mean, you never know. You could be getting the psychological advantage here, the secret sandbagging. But yeah, I mean, it's just looking to be a great race, I think. Obviously, the top two right now, within 2 temps. I don't, now knowing that the tyre graphic could be wrong, I don't know whether his lap was on the hards for Rise. Hopefully it was. And also, if I get your name wrong, I'm sorry. I am new here. But yeah, hopefully I don't butcher your names too much. So he goes in the pit lane. Yeah, I think I might turn the game sound up because it's a bit quiet in my ear, so just do that a sec. And Venetius has left the session. Hopefully they'll be getting back in. Hopefully it's just a small little dip. Hear that. Oh, someone's just gone up on the timesheets. It's Dave in the AlphaTauri, and he almost loses it. That was a nice catch, very nice catch from him, but he almost left it there. Yeah, I'll enable the full racetrack. My apologies. There you go. Oh, I guess not. That was there. My bad. But yeah, it's right now stacking up to be quite close, especially in the midfield. A lot of people in those 46s, and very close in the 46s. So that's looking to be a very tight little battle going on there. So yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be quite interesting to see where everyone's lying. And I don't really know where everyone's pace is, so... Oh, what's happened to Zoxum? Let's see whether we can find someone who's near him. Yellow flags, so let's see. And Shiny's straight line the corner. He's on the softs, and he actually is on the softs. In the Williams, so we'll be able to see where they're going to lie after they've done their outlap. Flo's coming out the pit lane now, and yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a practice start, hopefully, or not. Yeah, so let's also go on board with Herman here. Yeah, so Spa is quite an interesting track. Personally, I know it's not my favourite on the calendar. Spa doesn't really do it for me, especially the Codemasters version of it. But yeah, I mean, it always entails good racing. That's the thing about it. It's one of those tracks where good racing tends to happen. You tend to get a lot of places and a lot of stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, sorry if I also sound a bit nervous. It's just... yeah.
I don't know, is everything working?
Yeah, everything's working. Everything's working.
Perfect. I'm here to help you out.
Ah, nice.
Obviously, I'm not a native speaker in the English language, but I try my best.
Yep.
Already in the lobby, so everything is prepared.
Yep.
Yes.
Hog indeed, Sakame. Hog indeed. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a good race. A lot of people are now dipping into those 45s. A lot of people are getting closer to the time that Rise is put. And Benno has now gone to the top with a 45.0. Oh yeah, sorry about what we've got. It's classic British ISPs. So yeah. So yeah, I mean everyone is starting to bunch up a bit close on the timesheets, so oh, you've done a Juvenile. Oh. Ooh. General's gone purple in the middle sector. Very nice to see.
And Flo is spun and poor, and the Alfa Romeo nearly misses him.
Ooh.
Hermann, was it?
Yep.
Was pretty close, but everything worked out fine.
And it appears that his tyres are good.
He didn't even touch a wall, so it was a nice save. But in the future he has to be a little bit careful in the corner. Especially if it's going to rain in the end, because yesterday we saw in the races, in the race of the second division, that there was rain, and also many cars lost a wheel or two, so you have to be careful, especially in Polen.
True. And Flo goes into the pit lane, as you'd expect.
And we have our first quali lap done here by Vinicius with the 1:43.8.
So, are you expecting people to qualify on the mediums, you reckon? Or I reckon more people are going to qualify on the softs? So what do you reckon the strategy is going to be around it?
I think the strategy is going to be medium soft or soft medium, but medium soft is faster, so the most...
Oh, and Venush has spun it in P1.
And most of the people will try on the mediums, but if they don't succeed, maybe they go for a round on the softs. So it will be very interesting to see which driver is going on which compound, and if he's going to be safe in Q3 with the softs, or is he going to risk it on the mediums and stay in the pits. And I still forgot to introduce myself. My name is Blocky, but you can also call me Felix, like you prefer.
Yep, and I'm Ryan. Just call me Ryan. But yeah.
Okay.
So how are you doing today?
Everything fine. A bit tired from the day because I hadn't so much sleep, but I'm happy to be here and also get my first experience to commentate a race in a different language.
Yeah. So, are you a regular commentator here?
Not really regular, but every sometimes when nobody's here and I have and I want to, then yes, but just it's not like really regularly, but sometimes if I want.
must be quite interesting trying to commentate in English, I guess, because
Yes.
yeah. And Dave has now almost matched Venish on qualifying pace. He's done a 43.9. 1/10 off of Venish. Am I saying his name correctly?
We say Venetius.
Venetius.
Everything of the name. It's like typically in German we say everything what's written.
Ah.
In the YouTube chat, Kasha Gustav and Shiny Apple are having a conversation, and Kasha Gustav is really getting a hang of this English and German fusion.
So who do you reckon is going to win this race then? Who do you reckon's looking good for the sort of top of the grid?
I think the world champion Sparky is going to be a favorite for the race, but also the newly transferred Dusa in the McLaren, who looks strong, especially in the training sessions in front of the race. So he's the favorite for the most, but I reckon some of the not really top drivers are also have a shot, are going to have a shot, like Mühlstein or even a day for other rules.
Hmm.
He's also top drivers here, and Benno is also quite fast.
Yeah. So we're also seeing what I think is one of our first soft runners here. We've got General on the softs. So it'd be interesting to see where he's lying on that. We've also got BK now doing his first time on the softs. He's done a 44.9. With around 8 laps of fuel in the car. So yeah, he's looking pretty alright with these medium runners.
Lord is typing in the chat Flo, I think he means the Flo in the Red Bull, and yes, I forgot him, he's also a good favorite, because he was also very fast in the past, so I reckon he's also going to be in the top positions. So quite a close lineup here.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the closest in the whole league.
What's the usual sort of gap between sort of P1 and last, usually, would you say?
In qualifying it can be up to many seconds, because you have some drivers that are not so fast, like LP Tobias or in the past Herman had some outstanding performances, but then also some performances that saw him go out in Q1. So, but I think LP Tobias will be one of the slowest, and this is so a few seconds nearly, because he just isn't on a level of Sparky or Dave or Benno.
Yeah.
But he is a legend of his league. Since season 1, he's here. Always drove. I think always drove in the first league. But especially in the newer games, he never got a hold of so many points or a good position in the championship.
No.
So in the last season, he only scored 2 points, I think.
So would you say that's because he hasn't got a grip of these new games, or there's the level of competition has just got that much higher?
I think it's a level of competition because in season 5, Sparky now.
And we see Venish's in the wall
again, I think, and I think like Sparky, who is now a 2 times world champion, only got in season 5 for second league, and then in season 6 he got in the first league and won the world championship in season 6, and then in 8, because in season 7 we had one season, in this one season there was Tobias GT3, and he was just outperforming everyone. He was just insane. But he quit the league just after the season, and now Sparky's dominating again. But then in season 8, Dusa joined the league and made the battle for P1 a bit closer, and now everyone is picking on the pace of the new game. And yeah, I think this season is going to be really close, and not like last season where Mercedes had a 300-point lead in the end in a constructor championship.
Yeah. So it is stacking up to be a very good race then.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes left to practice, so people will most likely be doing qualifying runs now, if ever. And we'll have so Benno has done the most laps in this session. He's boxing now, probably to go put some new boots on and less fuel. And the gap is quite close for the top, and then more people, as they were probably on higher fuel or doing earlier runs with less track evolution, are a bit further down, but it's quite close where it is in the different packs. And we see Rising Soul lose it into the final corner and perfectly land it in the pit lane. You love to see it.
Especially when you have a puncture or out on slick tires when the rain is coming down. You won't, you are not going, you will not want end plate losing in a pit lane entry, so you have to be very careful there and maybe lose a few seconds because you are very careful. But that's better than changing a front wing. Maybe even destroying the race of your teammate because he's coming like 5 seconds after you also in pit.
Yeah. And there are yellow flags. I think it's just purely people backing up to get the slipstream, really.
Yes, and I think Sparky is on low fuel mode because there's a red lamp at the right corner.
Oh yeah, he is.
Elementary. And now he's just trying to get out of the way of the fast cars.
Ooh, and there's been a crash into the final corner from a Haas. Who was it? Tobias. And he came together with Venish's on the final corner, so that could be a possible penalty for him, and that would be 5 grid positions. Let's have a look.
Doesn't look like it. Nope, everything's fine.
Nope. So he's gonna have to crawl it back into the pit lane now.
Wait, how has Sparky set the new fastest time, but he entered the pits and was in low fuel mode? Is there a little desync or what just happened?
I think it might be desync. Or he must be the best driver we've ever seen in our lives. I mean...
I think it's desync because it's a time that is possible on a medium compound. And I think it just popped out a few minutes later than it usually would. But it's a game from Codemasters, so what did you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Masters of Code, Masters of Code. So on board with... Oh, Milstein has retired. Or Milstein. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
In Germany we say Mühlstein, because this is the German pronunciation, but I think you can pronounce it like you want. But we say Mühlstein.
Yeah.
In the chat they are typing that he dropped the lap before, so it was a desync, so...
Yeah. So now it's about to go into overtime, so flying laps will still count. Just no one going on to a new lap after these 5 seconds will be able to do a new one. So we're going to be on board with Flo here.
And Dusa misses the checkered flag, I think. Yes, he misses the checkered flag by 3 seconds.
Oh, unfortunate.
But I think he... no, he didn't set a lap, so... He didn't get the practice he wanted, but I think he has the pace to qualify in the top 3 positions without this extra lap.
No.
The next car who is finishing practice is Major in the Renault. Coming down the bus stop chicane.
Where will his lap put? Oh, very slightly out the final corner, and his lap will put him in the same place. So obviously he must be focusing more on race pace, most likely.
And Rising so places himself on P9 in front of the 2 Renaults and the Ferrari.
Vanish is going to be finishing off his practice now. Where will his lap put him?
It's invalid.
Oh.
General JJ overtakes the last Renault, so he's on P11.
And Flo is the last car on track. And he's going into the pit lane. So that's how your standings live practice. Sparky in first, Bennu in second, Mushtin in third, and that rounds out your top 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Dusa didn't make his lap, but we saw in the end he was just too late out of the pits. But yeah, he is going to push in the qualifying sessions to make it up, but it's just training, so nothing is so important like in the qualifying or race session. And even if you don't get a good lap in the qualifying, the points are scored in the race, not in the qualifying. So even if you are last place, you can still win.
Yeah.
It's just a better chance if you are on pole.
Very true. And also, you never know, there could be some carnage or something that causes some changes on the grid anyway. You could be on pole and go to last, so you never really know until the flag goes out.
I'm also really excited to see how the newcomers will get along here, like Neo7, the oldest man here in this league, with 38 years of age. And when we also have a driver from the third league who is going to help out his team in the first league with Shiny, who is young prodigy, not, but he's young. I don't know exactly the age, but I think he's born in the year 2006, so younger than me.
and now we're seeing our first cars on track for the start of qualifying here. And it's full qualifying. So this would be just for eliminating the bottom 5 drivers.
In this case, it's only 4 because we are 19 drivers.
Ah.
The top 15 are going to Q2.
So, who do you reckon's your, like, if you're gonna say someone, who would you reckon right now? Just looking at how the grids formed in practice, how would you say it's gonna? Who do you think is gonna take pole?
Pole position. I think. I still think it's Loser. He struggled in the training, but I think it's mainly because of the mislap at the end. And he just in the training sessions in a week he just drove so fast laps and also consistent. So I think he's gonna be on pole. But Sparky is not going to let it happen so easily. And here we see Shiny in Rennen struggling in traction. But he didn't hit a single car, so everything's fine. And I think the cars that will get eliminated are, I think LPWPers will be the last. It's nothing personal, but it's just he's not the fastest driver here in this grid. But from what I've seen so far, I also don't think that Neo 7 is so fast. So I'll put it on P18. Him on P18.
Yeah.
And then on 17 and 16 it's quite close, but I think maybe on 16, on 17 I'll put Major, and on 16 I put Mr. Zoxo.
Yeah. So let's see whether it does pan out that way then. So we were on board with Aiden Ruiz, but unfortunately invalidated his lap into Eau Rouge. So we'll go on board with Flo and let's commentate his lap. So through turn 1, it's a second gear corner, first gear sometimes, and it's obviously a very major corner to try and get all the speed down the Camel Straight. So he does a very nice Eau Rouge rally on. Obviously it's quite an easy corner nowadays, but as it's a Codemasters game, you can get killed very easily. And now going into turn 4, he's done a purple sector and he is flying through this section. He is absolutely flat out. Into here, down into third gear, and it's just being patient, waiting for the car to grip up, then just chucking it in and hoping it will stick. And obviously most of the time it does. And there's a few yellow flags around the track. Is it for cars spinning, or is it for people letting each other by?
It's because APTB has spun in the first corner and maybe blocked some cars.
Yeah.
But now he's again on the track and letting his teammate pass.
And I think Flo might go purple this lap because he's apparently done a purple sector 1 and 2. According to the minimap at least, so we'll see how accurate Cody's are with their telemetry. Going into the final.
It's only 3 cars that have put on a lap, so.
Very true. And he goes a second faster than P2. Provisional pole.
No, it's Q1.
Yeah.
Provisional pole is only in Q3, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he his 4th place and probably safe because the 141 isn't that bad. So I think the spot in Q2 is safe.
Yeah, that is a very good lap, looking at the other times we've got. And it's right now looking... Oh, and Doozer has gone to P1, 3 tenths faster. So it is looking to be quite a close battle, and also the lack of time in practice hasn't affected him.
General JJ squeezed himself between the two Red Bulls with a 1:42.5, but still nearly a second slower than Flo. But it's Q1, so you don't have to push that hard if you are one of the top drivers.
And Duza has given Milstein some toe up the chemistry, so obviously teammates working as teammates. And he has gone purple in sector 1, so we could be seeing a very nice lap pan out here. And he does look pretty well off, and there's some yellow flag situation going on.
I think there's a Renault, which is slow. It's PK. And it may be that he is low fuel. And we see Sparky out on track for the first time in the session.
And he's one of the runners for pole, so we'll be able to see. This is more where we'll be able to see whether the grid, how close the grid will be, and how close. We can sort of see the next two sessions after this being, as obviously practice. No one's really going to be giving it all, and Milstein goes into P4. 8 tenths off of his teammate right now, so the top is looking very competitive.
And I'm also really happy to see nearly a full grid here. These races are the best, especially on such a nice track. So if it was, I don't know which track is boring, but I think Paul Ricard produces, especially in real life, really boring races. Last season in League 3 we had a really nice ending because it was rain, but everyone stayed out on the slicks because it was only for the last 2 laps, and so it was a battle for traction. It was really nice and really really close at the end, if only a few tenths separated, first and second. But normally if it's dry, it's just 2 laps around the fastest, and Drew uses his EIS the most efficiently.
Yeah.
But here in Spa, everything can happen.
True.
It's a 7 kilometer long track. It has uphill, downhill corners, everything.
And General has put it in the wall. Thankfully his car is alright. Only some throttling damage.
If he had lost a tire, he will also not be driving the next sessions because Codemasters made it like that. In real life, it's like when you lose a tire, maybe the pit crew can change everything and repair. Especially retro crew is in real life very good at it. We saw in Hungary with Max Verstappen in the lap before the race. They only had like 20-30 minutes to fix it, and even less, and they've done it, and Max Verstappen finished on a great P2, I think.
Yeah. No, didn't he go on to win? Oh no, it was P2, wasn't it?
No. Hamilton won, like every time, nearly every time. I was quite surprised that Verstappen was so dominating in Abu Dhabi.
I feel like it's also because Red Bull were developing that car throughout the entire season, weren't they? And then Mercedes were running quite an old spec.
And they also stopped developing in like Bahrain, so I think many people are too excited for Red Bull. I think Mercedes, if Hamilton stays, they will dominate this year. But if Russell gets in the seat or anyone else and not Hamilton, it can be a little bit closer. But maybe with Russell he will get his first championship. Or even Verstappen. I think this season, especially with the rumors about Hamilton leaving, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But back to our league. Dusa is still fastest, and Sparky put himself very closely behind him with only 1/10 on P2. And Flo is on P3. And the true AlphaTauris are on 4 and 5 with a 142.0 and 0.1. And 1/10 behind is Mühlstein. That's our top 6. And in the back we have Shiny, and I forgot to tip him out because he's a League 3 driver who I think never drove without assist, so I just forgot to pick him out. But yeah, I think it's clear that he will be the bottom of this session because I just forgot him completely. Just all the time he was in the chat and writing things, so it was just confusing, but he just DNF, and now he is driving like I think he's lagging.
Yeah, hard. I think he desynced out the final corner.
He had these problems like in nearly every race, so I don't know why he's not even trying to fix it, because he just goes in every race, and he should try to fix it, because if he is just driving and lagging and blocking everyone on their fastest laps, it just ruins the fun. I don't have him on Steam, so I just someone pinged the leaders of this week, but I'll ping Shiny too, so he noticed it.
So right now, most people are in the pit lane, so I'm assuming quite a lot of people nearer to the top won't be going back out. But right now it's looking quite close for the midfield, so just a few tenths could separate you from being in Q3 or Q2 to out of Q2 right now, so it's looking like it could be quite a close battle, but we're seeing that both the Alfa Romeos haven't done a lap, and Herman's got some front wing damage and he's behind Shiny, so something might have happened there.
Yes, and I think now he noticed that Shiny is lagging very hard, so as the owner of this league, I think he will step in and tell him to fix it or leave the lobby. He is going into the pits, but I don't think he has the time to ride, so now Shiny retired, that is good. He has now 1.5 minutes to measure this and then get out and set a time, because now he is the last and only the two Alfa Romeos haven't set a time.
And we're seeing more and more people start to retire from the session, so everyone in the 41s and low 42s I think would be sitting pretty comfy right now for where they believe they are. And the cut-off time right now, we're not really seeing it from the Alfa Romeos, so right now the cut-off time is a 44.7, or really in reality a 43.9-ish, 43.8 is where you want to be. Is where yeah, I mean, Shiny, hopefully you can get your internet working back up again. And hopefully we'll see him back in the race with his internet unbroken.
The second in the series, Benno on P8 is now running out of the pits. And P7 retired, finishes.
And hopefully they don't... Oh, I think BK is backed out of it. So both Alfa Romeos are now on their outlaps, and Tobias too, and that, and Riding Style Major. So those are the lot who are closer to being eliminated, to Zoxum and Herman being the closest. And Neo isn't out of his pit box yet, so he's out in qualifying right now.
Yes, so we only have 2 cars that are that have to worry about getting kicked out, because the last 2 are fixed. Shiny is last and Neo's 7 is second to last. So if one of the Alfa Romeos makes his lap invalid, they are out.
Yeah. So we're riding with Zoxum here, and obviously the Alfa Romeos were getting quite close in their lap, so I think they both backed off each other. I thought maybe one of them could have given each other a tow, but they must be quite confident about where their pace is compared to the rest of the field. So, and there's also yellow flags in all 3 sectors right now. So I think the Renault has run out of fuel.
Yes. He's making space for the Ferrari. Neozim has retired completely. So he has to focus on the race now.
And obviously he gets a free choice of tyres anyway, so maybe he can do an interesting strategy and change things up, maybe, possibly.
Yes. And now someone joined that isn't from our league, I think.
And I think Herman is out of qualifying.
Yes, he's last. He will not set. He's not going to set a lap. It's invalid. And Dusa breaks his own record with a 141.2.
And Zoxum is through, but will... Oh, Tobias isn't going to improve. He's off the track.
The Racing Point, is he maybe from your friend list?
I don't have any gyms in my friend list.
Okay. That's unfortunate, because... yeah, he's driving out. How is he driving out? It can be that we have to restart the session. Are you the lobby host?
No.
Okay, then someone else fucked up the settings. Because the settings are normally on invite only. That's unfortunate. Because now we have someone driving in Stroll's car who isn't in the league. And he invalidates its lap. And because of that, Soxon is through. But I don't think this will stand. I think we will see another Q1.
So, what's gonna happen then?
I think Herman is going to write something in the next few minutes.
And I think because Jim's joined, it's broken the session.
Yeah.
Or not. So let's just go as if this session's gonna stand then. So, oh, and Jim has left the session, so I think he has been kicked.
Maybe,
Or he's just
but
left.
I think we restart because his car is going to be in the grid for the race because he joined the session and
Yeah.
selected the car. That just why? What was going through his mind? He joins a lobby from his friend because this is not open lobby. I hope. He sees it's Q1, 19 cars are already done. He drives out and leaves.
Yeah.
When you see 19 cars are in and it's Q1, why? Why? If it's open lobby, okay, but this isn't an open lobby.
Yeah. So let's see what happens then.
Loco writes in a text chat, only restart at race sessions. Well, he,
Yeah.
because of him, Soxon got through.
No, I think Zoxum did his lap before he did get through on merit.
He would have been yes, he would have been 16th, but because of the new one joining in, he was 15th.
Oh.
Loco is typing positions are fine. No. They aren't. But for now, the cars are going out on track and trying their best to forget what's happened.
So let's just continue this as if it wasn't going to get restarted then?
Yes, I don't think what will happen, but yeah.
So, obviously, we had quite a close session through the mid-pack. Obviously, the top few were a bit further away than where the others were, and Jim has left the session. I thought he said it earlier then. Interesting.
Loco is typing again. Loco, when Soxon was 16th, but when a new guy joined, he was P19, so Soxon got pushed one up to P15. I think. Or am I just... No. No, I'm just brain dead. Sorry. Everything's fine, everything's fine. I'm just brain dead, like every time.
Don't worry, it happens to the best of us.
It will only have made sense if he actually qualified, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a thing that his AI is going to drive in the race, and
Yeah, I think what could happen is restart lobby just for qualifying, and then just stick it off that.
I think we will have this qualifying this lobby and then change after the session.
Yeah, I mean, let's now get over that bit of debacle, I guess you could call it. And let's focus now on Q2. So now we're going to see a lot more people, a lot closer of a battle, would you say? Because I think last session was really close in that midfield, so I feel like we can really see quite a few people who maybe we wouldn't expect to get out just because maybe their lap wasn't as good, or they've got held up on their lap. Anything could happen, really.
Yes.
And obviously, if you do get into the top 10, as like real life F1, those are the tyres you start on, and you don't want to get too much wear on them. So if you are doing 2 laps in qualifying, 3 laps, then maybe that's not ideal for you. And Sparky's gone into the pit lane after he invalidated his lap, so I feel like he only wants to do 1 lap on his tyres. And the MK has gone to P1, 42.7 on the soft tyres. So, assuming from the laps we got in Q1, that should be around 1 second off what P1 will be. So, it'll be quite a lot of people are on quite a few people are on the softs actually. Zoxum's on the softs.
Yeah, I didn't expect anything else from Zoxum because he knows he hasn't got a chance on the harder compound. But it's surprising that the MK has set a lap on his softs, but because his pace is in the midfield, so he has a bad shot on the mediums for top 10. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have rain and they start on a different compound, so the Q2 compound doesn't matter. So they're just maybe trying to save a soft tire, or just go on the softs and send it. But I think so many drivers are on the medium compound, I think there will be a dry start.
True. I mean, what we could see is the soft runners, maybe for the first couple of laps, shoot forward and then, as they do, fall backwards as the race goes along. Or maybe it could be the better strategy. Maybe they're good at defending and they'll be able to use DRS and stay where they are.
You can look at the paper and say this strategy is better, but you can just make a strategy better by driving it correctly.
True.
By also having luck how the race proceeds. Maybe the soft runners will have a safety car exactly on the laps they have to pit. And then the medium runner maybe also pit, but they have to go on a different compound. Maybe on a hard, or they have to stay out and have an extra and have more pit stops than everyone else, because the soft runners would have a gifted pit stop. So you can poker on an early safety car, but it's really not that. It's a very high risk.
Yeah.
But the reward will get even better.
True. And the the Mercedes of Benno has ran out of fuel. So that is also why we are seeing yellow flags in sector 2 and eventually sector 3 when he gets there. And I think a few people are doing multiple laps on their tyres.
Yeah.
So maybe tyre will be an issue when we get to the start of the race. We never know.
On the medium compound, in Q2, I personally wouldn't do more than 2 runs. So like Adam Ruiz is at his maximum.
Yeah.
But he slowed down, so I think he will go in the pits and maybe try in a soft again if he isn't safe. And on a soft compound, you can do 2 runs, but if you want to be on the safe side and your first lap felt good, you can return to the pits and maybe take another set of tires.
True. And right now, the top is actually looking really close. A 10th between P1 and 3. Just 2 tenths after that to P4. So, and they're all on the mediums. So, it's looking like it could be a very close battle in Q3. And there's a Red Bull who's span it and pull on. They've got going now. I don't think they have any damage. The MK. And the Shiny has left the session. And Doozer's gone to the top, 42-0. The McLarens it's going essentially team by team at the moment. McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull and AlphaTauri, essentially the same team anyway.
Yes, these are the teams that I think will go for the constructors title.
Yeah.
Maybe Red Bull will rely on the performance of Flo because MK isn't as fast as his teammate.
Yeah.
And AlphaTauri will they have 2 very strong drivers, but they struggle in consistency. Especially Dave, he had some technical problems. He is forced to drive in a cockpit cam because if he drives on a TV cam, he has a delay for a few seconds. So yeah, this is the first handicap he has. And in season 6 or 7, I think he also had to drive with the controller, and now he drives with the wheel, or with the pad, I should say, not controller. Yeah, but I think now is the time he can show his pace and how good he actually is.
Yeah. And there's also right now quite a lot of people who haven't done laps, so I'm assuming a lot of people are waiting till the end of the session, maybe to just stick on their pair of mediums and then just go for it, or maybe they just waiting it out for Shack Evolution. So right now, the entire top 6 are in the pits, and the MK has now pushed himself into that top 6, so it is looking like we are seeing that McLaren, Mercedes and Red Bull definitely are going to be around the top end of the grid this season, which is pretty decent. It's a lot more unique than what we see in real life. Apart from Mercedes and Red Bull.
Yeah. But I think in real life, now with the Mercedes engine, McLaren can push for some race wins this season. And maybe Daniel Ricciardo will get a win. He waited for us very long. I think his last win was it was
2018
of course in Red Bull. 2018, yes. But was it Monaco?
Yeah.
And maybe also Len Norris will get a win.
True.
Nobody knows.
And that will be his first win since F2.
It would be spectacular if it was on the first race in the season, because, like we know, in the first race of the last season, he got a podium.
Yeah.
But that was because Albon and Hamilton made a little flashback of Brazil. And I think, was it the race where Perez got problems, or was it the next race? I think this was the
Austria was where Perez had problems.
Yeah, there were 2 races in Austria.
Yeah.
That's why
the second one was...
I think this was a podium race of Land Rovers where
Yeah.
Perez got problems. If you think about it, Perez got some problems in the Austrian Grand Prix, in the Bahrain Grand Prix, where he's looking quite very good. Well, yes, and then next week he got his win, but and then in Abu Dhabi again retired. That's 4 retirements that 3 I can't count. 3 retirements that he couldn't control, and also the COVID case also cost him a few points, and also racing point. The same with Lance Stroll. His retirements are not always just mechanically, but he also had COVID, so what can you do?
True. I mean, Stroll did get quite unlucky with reliability and such. And General has now gone to P1. 41.9. He's on the highest runner on the softs. And he's now going to be nursing those tyres around for the lap to try and not get anywhere on them. So yeah, I mean, right now the battle for P10 is looking quite close. So BK is in the pit lane. So he's retired. So let's see whether the cars behind him will go faster. Rise. I
don't know. He's also new. And also isn't German, so...
Yeah, true. He's Australian, isn't he?
Yes, I think he's Australian, yes.
Yeah, so he could get very close. Zoxon's now gone to P11, knocking Rise down a place. 142.872, very close to getting into Q3, but he didn't have that extra couple of hundredths or tenths, or just hundredth really, that he needed. Which is unfortunate for him, but he'll have the optimum tyre strategy, I guess, because he can choose any tyres.
If you are battling for P11 or 10 and 9, I gladly take P11.
Yeah.
Because you have few fresh tyres, and it's almost the same position as P10.
True.
But you can't control it.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, and Rise has gone off. He span it.
So he's out
Yep.
Dusa sets 141.8 on mediums on with 3 laps. That's what I'm talking about. He has the pace. The tires were a little worn out with 3 laps, and he smashes a lap from someone with softs.
So that is looking very good for him for Q3. And
He'll be aiming to drive a 140, I think, because in previous training sessions he did it, but it's not. It's like when you did it in training, it's not guaranteed you will do it in Q3. You only have you only have 11 minutes or 12 minutes, I don't know exactly, to make this lap. And in training you have a couple of hours. That's a big difference. And also not this big pressure. Because if you destroy your car, it's over. No pole for you. If you haven't set this lap.
And there's also going to be a session restart after Q3.
Yeah.
And that's been confirmed, so there's not going to be the random car, just random AI just strolling around.
So, we have our cars that are out of Q2. It's on P11, Mr. Stockson. Again, very close, but this time on the other end of the line. And then we have the Australian Rise on P12, then Vinicius on 14, Rising Soul on 14, and then Major on 15 with just mediums. Vinicius and Major couldn't get a lap on softs, or just didn't want to. And then on 10th, we've got Major's teammate BK. And then we have some cars that decided to don't make a lap on the softs and stay on the mediums, like the AlphaTauris or the first Red Bull Flow or the Mercedes cars.
So it is looking very tight.
Yes.
And now the battle for pole begins, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And it isn't looking like it's going to rain in the qualifying sessions. So we can see some really good lap times.
And
I
people
think
are
we will
already
see
going
one
up.
or two 140s here.
Yeah. I mean, great to see that sort of pace, because, yeah.
Now we have a second one who writes that the lobby will be restarted. So that's clear. And now the first cars are running out. The first one is Pro. And behind him is Dave, who's followed by Benno. So Flo and BK will have the most clean air from the drivers that are out on track right now.
Yeah.
Barkley and Adam Ruiz are in the pits. Maybe they're rating a little bit because you can only do 2 runs, and if you're driving out now, you will have to wait a few minutes in the pits. So you can wait here and let your track get a little hotter. So you don't waste your time in the pits in the middle of the session, just wait it out now.
Yeah. And General's now got some clearer. He's got his way through the traffic, but he's waited. So I'm assuming also you might want to be behind someone for some slipstream, and also it's getting a bit dicey here for track position. But now everyone's sort of backing up here, so hopefully it will sort itself out. And they almost collide. McLaren of Doozer in general, so the tensions are already rising. So let's go on board with Doozer for a lap then. So he's looked absolutely fantastic with his pace right now. Did he top Q1?
Yes, I think so. Yes, on the old mediums he did a 141.9, I think.
But then he did top Q2, so let's see whether he can get that continuing on to Q3. Yeah, I mean, he's looked pretty spectacular for his moment, and he's gone purple in sector 1. Obviously not everyone's done their times, but it'll obviously be a very nice sign for him to say whether he's quick or slow or not, and he obviously is quick.
Short shifted into the 4th gear in this corner. It's like meta. It's not like in the last game where it was really OP, but you still can do it and gain a lot of time with short shifting. You just have to use it correctly. True.
Because also this game is very aggressive when it comes to how you can put your throttle on. Because it's extremely realistic in every way. with its throttle application, and he goes purple in sector 2 as well, so... And the first time it's been put on the board, a 41.3 from Flo. So right now that is the fastest time we've seen all of qualifying. So the track must be getting faster, people just more gripped up. 41.8 for Mushtin. And Duza goes to the top, 41.2.
I think he will go faster on this last lap. This last lap is almost always a few tenths better. I think he will get this 1.40 point. I don't know, maybe 9, maybe also 8. I don't know. But it also, I think there are so many drivers that are in for pole. Also, Benno, maybe he surprises someone, or Mühlstein even. Sparky is also one of the top favorites. Then we have Alan Ruiz and Dave, who are also always in for a surprise.
I mean, even the fight a tiny bit lower down the grid, maybe, even for P5, P4, that could be a very close battle as well, because everyone does look to be, maybe in their own little cliques, but they all look to be very close when it comes to pace.
Yeah.
And hopefully everyone will be able to get their fastest lap time in. Maybe some people on their fastest time will invalidate, and that might change the course of where they are, you could say, but it's always sort of just luck of the draw in a way. Because sometimes you can cut a corner the same way you have been all session, and it's entirely different, so...
Maybe this time you are a little faster, so the game detects it as a cut because you are faster. This is the penalty system of this game. Or just a few pixels outright and it's invalidated.
Exactly.
Or just the game having its periods. I don't know.
And let's see where Aiden goes. Into P5 with 42.0. Yeah, it's looking like it could be a very nice little battle here. And now it's coming to the time where you get that lovely couple minutes waiting mid-session, just for the time and a good rundown, really. And it'd be interesting.
Sparky and Dave have broken down the laps and now are in the pits and preparing for the last lap on the end of the session. And they have to nail it, unless they don't have a chance for the pole position.
And also, Flo has really, I'd say, from Q2 to Q3, really found an extra step, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Because it did look like he was quite a bit further off from where he was now in Q2. So maybe his Q2 that might have been a bit slower. Or maybe he just prefers the softs.
And now the world champion has left the pits. Maybe he will try 2 runs on the same tires. Or he will try to push back into the pits, I don't know. Or he will now drive, make his lap, and then on his in-lap give his teammate some tow.
True. And this is also the time when people would start going out the pits. We see quite a few people, Flo, MK, obviously Sparky. And the 2 Red Bulls have gone out, and I think they're going to be giving each other a tow here.
Yeah. And MK is the first because I think he realized himself that his teammate has a better chance for the first spot. But as a good teammate, you have to realize something like that.
True.
And just work with the team. But most of the time in this league it's just like one who's giving the toe offered the toe.
Yeah.
It's not like someone is forcing you to do this.
So let's see how Sparky does on his lap. Hopefully it's going to be a clean one for him. Obviously he's going to be thinking he can definitely grab that pole. Let's see.
But in the past he showed he can rock under pressure. That's why he is a 3-time world champion.
Very true.
I think, yes, 3 times. 1 in League 2 in Season 5, and then 2 in the first league, Season 6 and 8.
He's also grabbing a toe from the McLaren.
Yeah.
So that might also change the way. And he's gone purple in Sector 1.
Oh, that's huge. Because to nail the first corner you can lose 2 tenths if you don't hit the apex and the exit correctly.
True.
It doesn't seem like it, but especially in qualifying, it's a tricky corner. And also the comms, if you nail it, it's a great feeling. But if you attack the curbs too hard, you will find yourself out of the track.
Yeah, I mean, Spa is just one of those tracks, isn't it? Where if you just get one corner slightly wrong, it can just shoot you out as well. And also his teammate has waited for him during his outlap, so Sparky has got a toe. Hopefully he'll be able to use it to his full advantage. Going into the final corner, the lap has looked pretty clean.
That's creative. Toe on the Blanchiment straight and not on the Chemist straight.
And he's just missed out on provisional pole by 1,000th.
And that's gonna be it for him. He has no fuel left, and he's going to give a teammate a toe on the Chemist straight. Hopefully not too much dirt here on the way up. Rouge on radio. Now we are switching to the other Mercedes.
And now he's gone fastest in the first sector. This could be a very, very tight battle at the top right now.
Yes.
So everyone now, apart from Adan and Dave, are on their flying lap, and Benno's backed out of it. He's invalidated.
He overshooted that pool, I think. That's not great for him, and that's not the star in the season that Mercedes expected. It's only qualifying, but they expected a better result in this qualifying session, I think.
True. I mean, as they'll probably know, you can't win them all, especially in qualifying. So they'll just probably be looking towards the race now, hoping people behind them won't out-qualify them from where they are now. General JJ is now out of the session. He's retired.
And Dave crashed.
Oh, has he? Oh, that's very unfortunate for him.
But in this corner, it's not normal. I think either his brakes failed or it was intentional. But you never know.
Very true. And also, Mulstein has gone onto pole.
Provisional. His teammate is faster, and he sets a 141.0. Not below 41 as I expected, but still a very fast lap.
And let's see. That is very close in the top 4. And this is how qualifying is going to look then, because the MK isn't going to go any faster, and David's hit the wall. So Duza is your pole sitter for this race.
The top 7 are all in 1 second.
Very nice. And then from P2 to 4, it's less than 100th really, or just over 100th, but that is very close.
So Dave is going to start from P10. It's not the qualifying position he expected, but in a race everything can happen.
True. It would just be a bit unfortunate that he has to start on those mediums, but obviously, or did he qualify on the softs or mediums?
I think mediums.
Mm.
Yes, both of the AlphaTauris pokered on the mediums, so they can get P8 and 9.
Mm. And also, now that we have to restart the session as well, everyone's going to be starting on fresh tyres, so anyone who maybe did a few more laps on their tyres in Q2 will be better off. But looking at Q3 standings, Doozer, actually, do you want to do this?
If you want, you can do this. I did Q2, so you can do Q3.
Nice. So Doozer is on P pole. Mulshin is in P2. Sparky's in P3. Flo is in P4. Benno is in P5. The MK is in P6. Adon is in P7. JJ is in P8. BK is in P9, and Dave is in P10.
Yes, perfect. So now we are just waiting for an invite from the lobby host. I don't know who is going to be that, but because of one of the newest patches, it's a driver is able to host the lobby without getting advantage at the start.
Hmm.
We had this problem a few times, but now with the patch, a driver can host it again. Okay, Shiny's saying that Herman is host, so yes, you will receive a invitation shortly, I think. But we can see the weather. The start will be under bright sunlight, so I don't think that the first half of the race will get near to rain.
Mm.
Maybe at the end, because clouds can form very quickly in this game. But we'll see.
So, just waiting for an invite here.
Got an invitation. Okay.
I'm still waiting on a invite at the moment. Oh, there we go.
I will be AFK shortly, but I'll be back in a few seconds or minutes.
Yep. So I feel like almost everyone's in the lobby now, I think. So the race will be starting sharpish, so that'll be pretty decent, and it's looking like it's going to be a very close race. Really, it's because everyone at the top, very close, then everyone who's further down the grid as well, very close as well. So we'll be seeing a very nice little race. Hopefully there'll be no major carnage in the first few laps, because Spa's one of those tracks where it can happen quite easily. Yeah, some nice battles would be nice. It'd be great to see. Just cheers, Shiny. Good luck in the race for you. Good luck for your CPU or your internet. So hopefully that hold up for you. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be close race, good fighting, and yeah, I mean, we could see anything here. And fair battles, true. And I think everyone's readying up now, so everything should be set. And we'll be able to see a good race. That's the main thing. Oh, that's how long it is, 154 kilometers. Oh yeah, makes sense.
I'm back.
Hello.
Just got me something to drink, so my voice isn't dying so fast. But in the end, it's always my voice just keeps cracking in the last few rounds. So. In the last few laps. Sorry. It's confusing because we have a German word that is rund, like round, but it means like something. Like a circle, it's round.
Yeah.
And here, yes, it's confusing. And Runde is in German like lap. It's confusing.
Yeah. So now everyone's going around on their formation lap. So let's have a look what tyres people are on then. So quite a few people on the softs in the top 10. I think a lot more medium runners. It's about equal actually, I think. Some of the people starting there at the back, some of them have got on softs, so they might be hoping that they can shoot up at the start of the race and then hope that they can keep their pace up during the degradation phases, and then the people on mediums are just going to be sitting it out, waiting for the second stint to then just blitz it.
I think that Aaron Ruiz has a wrong set of tires, because he qualified on the mediums In the rulebook it says if you have the wrong tire compound at the start of the race, you will have to pit in round 1, I think, and then everything is fine. But if you don't pit, you will get disqualified.
So that is not going to be good for them.
So the P7 qualification for the race is gone. He will most likely is most likely the last. He will have an extra pit stop, and if nobody gets damage, he will be last. That's bad, but someone is typing that Sparky also has the wrong tire compound. That can be true. I am not completely sure about that.
We'll see when the race comes to end whether it was wrong. Hopefully it won't be, because then that'd be unfortunate for him, but
we will see. You are going to focus on the main group, and I'll be my camera is going to be at the back of the grid.
Yep.
So everything is on. I'm also recording, so we have more footage.
So 5 red lights, and away we go. And Duza gets a brilliant start there. Everyone's bunching up.
Shiny and Herman were longer on the grid, and we have Dave spinning with damage. And Shiny is also
safety car, virtual safety car.
Dinesh is in the wall, lost a tire, and Shiny is last because he almost spun out, and Dave could overtake without getting a penalty. So yeah, a little bit chaos into the first corner. Shiny almost lost it in the radio. And Flo got the penalty.
I'm assuming that'll be a 5-second for hitting someone. I don't think that you can get a 3-second corner cut on this early in the race, so...
Yes, 5 seconds.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate for him, but he'll just have to deal with it. It'll be served in the pit stop. And we are green flag now, aren't we? Again, so...
Someone lost in front of Puan. Maybe the Ferrari of New Zealand. And there's a spinning rising star, also at Puan. And LP Tobias.
That is not very good. Maybe there'll be another safety car, you never know. But up at the top here, Spark is looking to probably try and get past Mulstein here. He's sitting it out for the moment. Oh, bit of desync, and I think he might have lost his front wing there. Yes, he has. He's lost his end plate.
Shiny's car is very slow.
Sparky's boxing. So a bit of desync has caused damage for him there. That's really unfortunate for him. Hopefully he'll be able to wind his way back. Benno and Flo are very close right now.
So Rice is in the pits after a close battle with Rising Star, but I don't know if he lost his end plate there or at the beginning of the lap. But he's going on new softs. Interesting. And both Alpha Tauris are in the pits, so Dave will have a bit of delay because of the Codemaster's coding.
And there's a Ferrari stuck on the straight. I think that's good Cody's again.
Yeah. And the whole lobby is just broken. Sparky was in the time table he was at on P1 and more. Maybe we will have a restart. So our third lobby.
I think it's fixed itself now. I think in classic Cody's fashion, the timing board broke.
But we have a rule: if 3 cars or 3 drivers are having problems, technical problems, the lobby gets restarted. So I don't know. And JJ is looking on it now. He is one of the I don't know what the English word for that is. He is one of the persons in car. Yeah, you can say that.
And there we just saw MK getting by Flow. Probably just MK thinks he's faster and he's been allowed through by his teammate, but you never know. Obviously he'll have TRS now, and there's quite a few gaps on the track right now. And they're gonna be sticking together. BK's now coming up to that battle, so hopefully he'll try and get his nose in. And there's a there's a random yellow flag. We've gotta love it.
Vinicius was typing in the Discord. The Flo has no setup because of at the beginning there was so little time to load the setup. He didn't make it.
Oh, so that's not very good for them then.
And that's also why, probably why MK got past him.
But right now, Mr. Zoxum's actually, Zoxum's got quite well off from those first lap issues, P11 to P8. Mage is now closing in on him. He'll be looking to see whether he's going to be able to take it to him, really get those positions, get those good points. And Zoxum has locked up into the bus stop chicane, and let's see whether Major's going to do it. It'll be a bit, yeah. So he's going to step behind him. He's going to be getting the DRS down the Kemmel Straight. Obviously that's very ideal for you because you're allowed to get a lot of time, and Jamal already has a 3-second time penalty from cutting the corners, so that's not going to be very good for him. He'll want to reduce his chances of getting warnings now. So
Shiny is getting lapped and struggled a bit to stay on the track. But if you're getting lapped, you can also use the grass, so no problem. But lap 4 and getting lapped is a sign that you are not a driver who is supposed to drive here every week. So. But he's only a driver from League 3, so only reserve driver, so it's fine.
And also Benno right now, he's really catched up to Mulstein. He's going to be hopefully looking to get a move done really, and then try and chase down Duza, who is running away with it right now. 2.4 seconds to his teammate after 4 laps. Yeah, I mean he's out of the DRS, he's not got much competition out there. So
Rising Solo having a nice battle with LPWS. And Sparky is pushing from behind on the hard. And we have a yellow flag, it's Shiny again. Side by side, Sparky Rising Soul. And Sparky gets a better exit and makes it. Now can Rising Soul stick down the inside. He has better traction on those tires, but the skill from Sparky is just another level. He's in front of the racing point. And now Sparky's looking to go on the outside of AP2BS. And he makes it.
oh, they touch. So now Benno is, I think he's faster through these final sections, or at least the final sector, than Mulstein, so he must be running possibly lower downforce, or he's using his ERS a bit more aggressively, and Shiny's just received a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane and has retired from the race. It's unfortunate for him, but
I don't think that he expected much more.
yeah.
But at least he got the experience for 5 laps in a lobby with no assist allowed.
True. And we might see a move from Benno here. He's 6 attempts away from Mulstein, but with the DRS, with possible use of ERS, they might be able to claw some time back and maybe do a dive, but you never know. Yeah, I mean, right now there's quite a few gaps forming, so it seems like quite a few people maybe taking it a bit conservatively, or maybe just thinking of the tires a bit more.
And Major Co was able to drive away from the 2 Alfa Romeos. The gap is extended to 1.7 seconds. So he's clearly faster than the 2 Alfa Romeos, and that's good to see.
Then also, Herman has done a very good first few laps then, hasn't he? Coming from P19 to P10.
Yeah.
So that's going to be quite nice for the Alfa Romeo team, who were looking a bit in doubt from qualifying, but as we say time and time again, points are made in the races, not in qualifying, so hopefully they'll be able to continue that momentum, really.
And the biggest reason that the cars that are not normally in the top 10 are now here is because we have 3 cars from the top 10 that had to pit, like Sparky, and Ruiz, and Dave. And Dave also had to suffer from the double stack from AlphaTauri, so
True.
his race is almost ruined. Only a safety car can save it. And he also has to pit, so he has this maybe a few laps later, so his softs are going to be fresher, but it just, I'm looking on the time. He's...
Sorry to interrupt, but Benno has just gone for a move for P2 around the outside of Mulstein, and he's made it work.
What I was going to say, Dave is now 51 seconds behind the leader, so a safety car is the only thing that can save him.
True.
So VSC isn't happening at any time.
He can still score some points though, if he just keeps it consistent, just keeps it on the black stuff. And just keep it that way, because right now also, it looks like it might be a bit of a battle of attrition here. Who can keep their tyres the best, who can just not make any mistakes really, because that's sort of the game, the aim of the game at the moment. Because there are quite a few gaps forming, which is obviously, it's semi-typical of Spa, but obviously eventually near the end the gaps will start to close up, because right now it's just conserving your fuel, conserving your ERS, and you can't really use too much of it, because of course nowadays on this game you can't change your ERS mode, so it's just you either waste it and you don't really regain it, or you keep some of it, just keep pace in the bag. And Benno has done the fastest lap of the race, so he's going to be looking to try and get Duza and just push forward in his race, just try and get a lot more to the top. And also, as we saw in qualifying, he did mess up his lap, so maybe if he didn't, I wouldn't say boss of qualifying, but if he didn't mess his qualifying up a bit, maybe we would see a bit of a closer battle for Duza. And we're seeing Mulstein go for a move around the outside into the 4th corner, and they just about don't touch. Very close there. And we'll see whether Mulstein's going to try and continue on his little fight with him. They both lock up. Will they be able to get any closer during the lap? We'll have a look. But it's looking like this could be a very tasty battle for P2.
MK is going down the inside from Sparky in turn 4, and he makes it with the power of ERS and DRS. And also the power of fresh tires. Maybe because of front wing damage, because normally you don't pit. Maybe because, or he was a soft runner, so that is not good. I don't remember on which compound he was. Someone in the text in the chat typed in German that I should tell you that you can show the tires.
Oh. And General is in the pit lane now. So is BK, so quite a few people are deciding this is the time.
Alfa Romeos are very close together. I don't know. Hermann is through, so it can be that Saxon is going to lift a bit, so he isn't going to interrupt Hermann because it showed that Hermann was a little bit faster in the last laps. And now the soft runners are all in the pits with the fresh mediums and looking to finish the race on these compounds.
Yeah, I mean, oh, is there someone on, is Sparky on hards?
Yes, because of the front wing damage in the pit lap.
That could be quite an interesting little challenge, I guess you could call it for him.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to see, because also he seems like he's fast anyway, he's keeping up with all the medium runners, so hopefully he'll be able to keep his way, just keep his momentum going, because he has moved quite far up the grid now from where he was. And this battle for P2 is keeping it around the same gaps, but they are within DRS range of each other, so we can see quite a bit of jockeying, but in reality they don't really want to lose so much time because they're already 6 seconds behind Doozer, so you're seeing quite a bit of domination here, looking like there's a large chance that he will win the race. Obviously, knock on wood, not to give him the commentator's curse, but
And Adam Ruiz with his first freestyle time penalty. He got in the last few races he got famous for some penalties, also in other leagues like but it just affected it. Keeps doing and keeps stealing some of his points. It just makes also a good driver to not get as many warnings. You can be as fast as you want. If you have 21 seconds, you will miss some points.
True.
Because even a Jano Opmer, I don't think that he will get in 22 laps. I don't think he will be like 20 seconds faster than Doozer. He is very fast, but 20 seconds is a lot.
Yeah. Especially when...
And that only in 22 laps.
Especially when you can just keep it in someone's DRS as well, even if you are slower than them. Obviously, eventually that will wear off, but...
You can just run a very low downforce setup, like a 1-3 aero setup, and only rely on the camera straight and on the last sector. And on tracks like Spa or Monza, it works.
True.
If you just control the car and don't be too slow in corners like Poor, you'll be fine. Because no one can overtake in Poor if he doesn't want to spin. Because too right is not going to be so easy. Also through Uruguayo in real life it may seem, I think in real life it's realistic to go to right, like we saw in the Spa race this season. I don't know who exactly it was. I think it was
Gasly,
Gasly,
yeah.
But in this game, if you want to go to right, I don't think it's happening.
No. Especially if you touch the inside curb up Radion, you instantly just spin.
Exactly. And now MK's tires are starting to lose the grip from his outlap, so Sparky is going to push him and maybe re-overtake him.
And also, Mulstein has gotten back in front of Benno, and he's pulled quite a big gap out, so I feel like maybe he's using a bit of ERS, and obviously he used the DRS to get by him, and he's going to just try and get him out the DRS zone and make it McLaren 1-2, because at the moment it is looking like it's going to be a very easy ride for Doozer, so they're just going to be hoping to keep top points up, get that Constructors' Championship just elevated, and just keep it there, really. That's what all they really need to do. Obviously, quite a few teams here. Obviously, there's only one car in the points for quite a few of them, so maybe even Alpha could be gaining on other teams where maybe they're not a good package at the moment. Maybe they just need to rethink some of the ways they're driving, maybe. Just maybe also the session restart. They could have, obviously, as some of the drivers have, lost their setup, so.
Yeah. And I just wanted to point out, in the second league, in both divisions, a McLaren driver won. In the first division it was Tom, and in the second division it was, I think, Scuffed Magic, if I'm not wrong. So McLaren, if it stands like this, they are going to make it 3 out of 3. So we first thought that is going to be closer and not like a 6 out of 6 for Mercedes like last year. Now I'm fearing that we are getting the same with McLaren this time.
Maybe it's something just about the track.
Yeah. Well, last season Doozer won the race at Austria, and
also
yeah,
Benno's in the pit now.
Oh, okay. And in the end, Sparky dominated the season, so the first race isn't really a safe call how the season will end.
Very true. Very true indeed.
But the two teams that are struggling the most are obviously Williams, the 2 DNFs, and also the 2 Ferraris.
Both very far off both each other and everyone else, really, so not going to be ideal for them. They're just going to be hoping to try and improve the pace for the season. Maybe they'll be able to pick out some points. It's almost too accurate to Ferrari in real life, and Sparky's going for a mover on the MK, and quite an easy move. Done way before the braking zone. Very nice. And they're just keeping with each other. And also, good thing for Benno is he's not really got any traffic to deal with. He's only got Flo, who's 2 seconds ahead, so he's gonna be able to use all the performance on his softs for these few laps where everyone else hasn't boxed yet, and just go for it. Really, he's just gonna be absolutely gunning it from the start and try and do the undercut. Maybe he'll be able to do something on Mulstein and possibly get closer to Doozer, but you never know. With these races, anything really can happen. And Mulstein's in the pit now, so we'll see where he ends up. And Flo's also gone in the pits, so Benno has no traffic to deal with. Purple in the final sector, and I think he's got him. So Benno is now in P2. No, he's not. They're just next to each other as they come out of the pit lane. So that is a very good strategy for Benno. It's allowed him to get by him. Looked like he was falling back a bit on his mediums at the end of his stint. So let's see whether Mulstein's going to try and get him straight off the bat, or is he going to wait? And no, he's going to go for it. Benno's missed this braking point a bit, and he's going to do the switchback, the side-by-side into turn 5, and Benno's still ahead, so this is looking like this battle will heat up a bit as the race is about to go on. This is looking very nice, and also has Sparky got by Zoxum now? I think he has, so still being good points for Sparky, and a lot of people still have the pit at this point. Obviously Doozer being one of them, so we'll see whether the instant just speed of the softs is going to allow them to catch up to the leader. See, I'll assume that Doozer's going to box this lap. He's not going to want to lose too much time.
Now Mulstein's looking down the inside. Benno is,
and he's backing out. Gonna be obviously no moves are really gonna be done into turn 1 here, because the DRS is just too useful for the straight. And Doozer's gonna come out the pit lane. Ooh, that was close there. But Doozer's come out the pit lane 6 seconds ahead, so he's kept the gap. We're seeing a lot more of those medium runners box in now, so we'll see whether a fight brews nearer to the back end of the grid. And yeah, it's just very close for these top, really P2 and 3 is where the main battle is at the moment. And are they going to do the same moves again? He's going to keep conservative. He's going to try and just fear them out here and just find the best place and the most like the quickest place, because he just wants to get by him. Really, that's the main thing. And obviously lap car now. Hopefully he'll get out of the way smoothly and just let them carry on their battle.
ooh, okay, he braked early enough, but it looked quite close. But everyone worked out, so no problem. And now with the power of the slipstream, we get close to the Mercedes car. No.
And he lifts at the end of the straight there, just to stay behind him. We could also be seeing his engine possibly getting quite hot at the moment.
Yeah. And also his tires are wearing out, which will defeat the purpose of the overcut. Or maybe I should say make the undercut from Benno better.
But Lav DRS using a bit of overtake mode. Now he's on it, he's going to be using all that battery up. And he's got by. Very clean, but he has missed his braking zone a bit.
They touch, if I'm correct.
Was there a bit of desync there?
Yeah, I think.
No.
But now Benno, yeah, lost his place to the McLaren. Again, it's the 1-2.
And also, just on a side note, Sparky is now in P5, so this has been a very good comeback for him. He's obviously not given up hope early, so he's just been able to keep his pace up, just do his thing and silently move up into the top, or P4, excuse me. So that's looking very good for his race, good for the championship points.
But now the tires are almost done, and the fresh softs or mediums are going to make his life a little harder. But now he sits calmly in P4 with 10 seconds to the P3 car and 5 seconds to the P5 car. Now lapping the Ferrari with no issues at all. And just continues his race at his pace, at his normal race pace. And it just shows why he is true world champion. That he can recover from such a bad start with the slowest compound.
Very, very true. And also we're going to be seeing a battle here for P11 soon. JJ and Ruiz. So hopefully everything will be clean and we can just see some great racing. Everyone now boxed, I think. Yeah, so I think everyone's now done their mandatory stop, so just who can keep their tyres up and just who's made the better strategy call. This is what everything comes down to in the end.
And if you look at the penalties, everyone has a 3-second time penalty with the symbol, but LP Tobias and Rising Soul are the ones with the 6-second time penalty. But if you remember, I think it was Flo who had a 5-second time penalty that was retrieved in the box. Maybe because it was something he hasn't got control of. He can report it and get the 5 seconds. Get him removed. I don't know the word. Genau, exactly.
Yeah, and also Mulstein seems to have cracked the softs quite well, so he's pulled a second out from Benno, so he seems to be doing well. Sparky's also pulling away from MK as well, even on his 15-lap old hards, so he's looking quite handy where he is. So let's just focus in on this battle then. JJ versus Ruiz.
I keep my eyes on the battle for P14 with Tobias and Rice.
And he's gone to outside very early. That seems like he's running a lot less downforce than the AlphaTauri. Or maybe he just knew the inevitable would happen, saving his ERS. Just really waiting. It's what a lot of overtaking is. It's just being patient, knowing that you're maybe a bit slower, just trying to think more tactically, trying to, because also they still have a possibility of gaining points. About 2.5 seconds is Oxum, so there's still 3 laps of the race left, and at Spa, that's still quite a lot of time. They're both going on to lap the Ferrari, and ooh, very close. And now Adden has to use a bit more of his ERS, obviously what he wouldn't have preferred, but sometimes you just have to take the hit. And Neo Sieben has retired from the race. Unfortunately for him, but see, some races aren't going to be as good as others, so he's just got to hope that future races he just gets a bit more sorted out for it. Gets maybe a bit more luck. You never know what happened to him early on in the race, and hopefully he'll come back even stronger than he was today. So
he seemed very motivated in the preseason, so I think he will just carry on and train harder and score his first points eventually. Rice and Tobias touched. And now they are coming up Rouge and Radio. But with only 21% of ERS, Rice isn't able to use much of his overtake.
I think I've desynced here because I can't see them together.
Oh, okay. It's Cody's again. Which one of them is not really supposed to be?
I think
we are now
Rising's a bit further back on my screen, but
I'm not talking about Rising. I'm talking about Rise.
yeah.
Yeah, the names are pretty similar in the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So happens.
And also
And
they're
yet-
closing up to Zoxum very quickly here. So this battle for now P10 will be getting a lot more aggressive, I feel, or a bit more heated.
And the Red Bull flow is going down the outside of BK, and now he passes him in front of willkommen.
And also Benno has started to catch up on Mulstein, so that might be a bit tasty in the last few laps. He's using a bit of his ERS up though, so we'll see whether he'll be able to get the move done if he does catch up.
General JJ overtook Soxon in power. That happens very rarely, so love to see that. If someone goes for a move like that.
And will there be a move down this back straight? I think they're both using ERS now, aren't they? Oh, they touch, they touch.
It. But Soxon keeps his 4 tires on the track.
Let's
And
see
now
what
the
happens here.
Renault is major maybe attacking his teammate with a better tires. And yes, he overtakes him.
And Ruse here goes up the inside of Zoxum, and it's quite an easy move there. But Zoxum had to go off the track, and he got his final warning, so 3 seconds added to his end of race time. Unfortunate for him, because but it's unfortunate for him, especially if he didn't get the penalties to begin with. He might have been able to keep his eye positions, but you never really know what's going to happen early on in the race. And on to the final lap now.
And we have our next DNF. Es bin willkommen.
And BK is lagged out.
I try to invite him. I invited him. Ah, he joined. Okay. Good. But still, it's he's in a close battle and he has a penalty. So maybe Herman is trying to overtake him and before BK is able to rejoin in his car, because if you're in a lobby, you still have to join in a race and then take over your car.
Mm.
And yes, he overtakes him. And if he really left the lobby or
And he's back
made
in.
it worth it. Okay, nice. And the Alfa Romeo makes the move. And now it's up to P8. There are good points for the Alfa Romeo pilot.
And also, let's watch Duza take the first win of the season. P1. Didn't look in doubt from the first lap, just did his work.
Now the close battle between Mühlstein and Benno. And we have a 1-2 finish from the British McLaren team.
And then coming home in P4, Sparky, good comeback. Unfortunate wing damage from lap 1, but...
And we have a last lap DNF from Rising Soul in Rennen.
The MK comes home in P5. Flo P6.
Maybe P7 because of penalties. And that's a
Ooh.
P6 for Major. That's also really, really good points for him because he's also one who really gets points. Really happy to see that. And so Flo's on P7.
Herman's in P8.
General JJ on P9, BK on P10. Alon Reese misses out on points with 1.7 seconds. Saxon on P12 and Dave on P13. He couldn't recover like Sparky did. And Rice on his debut now crosses the line as 14th. He made it through without crashing his car.
True.
That's something.
And Herman is the driver of the day.
Well deserved. From P19 to P8. And now we see the two McLaren. Oh, this animation.
What are you saying? That's peak. Haven't you seen every F1 driver do that? That's what I see every F1 driver do.
Yeah. Especially Zep. Vettel just isn't celebrating his wins. Okay, so that's the race. And yeah, I don't know if Herman told you we have a press conference.
Yep.
Okay, nice. So a 5-minute break. We'll discuss who's going to have an interview, and we will be back.
So, this is the interview. So, Mustein, how did your race go, in your opinion?
Wait a second, we have to unmute him. Yeah, perfect.
I think there's nothing more to say than the second place. I just have looked at the incident with Sparky at the beginning with the desync, and that's really unfortunate for him. And I can only say sorry. But yeah, it was a really solid race from my side, and congrats to Dusa and also to Benno. They both drove an incredible good race, and the battle with Benno was really fun. And yes, I think it was a really good race, especially for McLaren.
Yeah. So, obviously starting from P2, did you expect to qualify that high?
Actually, I didn't expect that. I think that, especially in Q2, my lap was so good on the medium. The first run in Q3 was nearly the same on the soft tire, but in the end it all worked out. I even beat my PB, personal best, so that was really enjoyable.
Yeah, very nice. So then coming up in the future races, obviously Paul Ricard next, do you have any expectations for that? Do you want to maybe get a win, or what do you expect to come from that race?
Just enjoy it. I'm just looking forward to the track. It's a really special track. It's a new one. It's not that common that I don't know what to say. You know.
Yeah.
It hasn't been there. It's only been here since 2018, and I haven't raced here before. So there, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And then coming over to Benno, how did you think your race went? Obviously starting from P5 on the grid.
Oh, now I'm there. Okay. Yeah, so to be honest, it went quite well actually. Qualifying didn't go as expected though. Like I did it in a solid banker lap, and after that I invalidated my second run, so I had to start on P5. Start went quite well. The lights went out a bit later for me than for the others, which is a bit weird, but it's common in this game, so yeah, whatever. I still held my position. Went up to P3 and had an amazing battle with Mustein. It was really tense. I tried everything to get into his DRS, but I couldn't do it in the end, so GG to him. However, I'm really sorry for Sparky because that incident with Mustein was very unfortunate, and I'm pretty sure he could have fought with Dusa. So yeah, sorry for him. It's incredible that he even got P4, so happy for that. And yeah, GG to McLaren for their 1-2. Nice to see. And 3-4 for us Mercedes. It's okay, I think. So looking forward for the next race.
Yep. So obviously for the next race, do you have any expectations of where you're gonna start? Maybe you're gonna finish, or?
Well, considering the track, like I like it. It's a nice layout. I'm pretty alright at it. So I guess if I'm on the podium, it's good. But for that track specifically, it's France, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about France. Okay, good. Yeah, I think France is one of my best tracks, so if I get a win, it would be very nice. But considering that the field is so competitive, even compared to Season 6 or something, even a podium would be good enough. So yeah, just having fun and getting a podium, that's it.
Yep. Very nice. And I'll pass over to Blocky.
Yeah, thank you. We'll continue with P4 with the world champion Sparky.
Hello.
Starting from P3 and then recovering to P4 after an accident on the first lap with Mustein, and on the hards. I think you were the only driver that did that. What were your thoughts of this race?
Well, of course, very disappointed how everything unraveled this race. Yeah, qualifying was not really good. I was very cautious not to make the lap invalidated. And then in the race, I was a bit upset why Mühlstein just made such a huge gap to Dusa, so that Dusa was already out of DRS, and then I planned to attack Mühlstein after Blanchiment, and then he had problems with his connection, lagged behind, and just took my front wing off. I had to pit, and then I had to fight back through the field, had some nice battles with Rising Soul, even LP Tobias, MK. And from there on, it was just to recover the positions that were lost. I knew that I, under normal circumstances, couldn't finish on the podium anymore. So I tried my best, opened a big gap to the rest of the field, over 10 seconds. And then it was just to hope that the hearts don't explode, because they were not far away from 80%. And then we finished P3 and 4, but I'm pretty sure that one of us at least gets elevated or gets higher up because of maybe penalties that will come. Yeah, but very disappointing. I put in quite a lot of practice, but I was ill for the whole week, didn't feel at 100%, and yeah, I hope that this will get over soon and I can focus normally on France.
Talking about France, what are your expectations?
Well, I didn't race here last season, so I don't know what my pace is there. I never drove there, only with controller, with my PS4 controller, not with my normal wheel. Yeah, also in the last game it was not one of my stronger circuits, but maybe this year it will be different. But it gives me now motivation to see that McLaren did a very good job in terms of pace. It gives me motivation to attack them, and now I'm of course very hungry after such a... It's not a bad race, I'm happy with my recovery, but bad luck. And I want to thank Loco for jeffing us, for giving us information and keeping my head cool, that I did not get completely angry after lap 1, and thank you for Benno for the good teamwork.
Okay, thanks for the interview, and I'll be
No problem.
moving on to Herman.
Good evening.
Good evening. What a recovery from P19 to P8, great points, and just what a drive.
Yeah, to be honest, like I had some incidents during the whole weekend that didn't help with my mood in general, but yeah, starting with the qualifying incident in Q1, Shiny was in the menu. AI blocked me, crashed into it, then I made the second and last run in Q1 invalid, and yeah, that's P19. Then also the restart didn't help because everyone got fresh tires, and there was no advantage to be gained from the people who used the tires, and I was out already, so yeah, that sucked. The race start, I just avoided everyone, was up to P12 after lap 1 or 2. Yeah, just unfortunate for Rising Soul being attacked by Rice there. Yeah, we'll see what that brings. Racing Point is also part of a team, so yeah, unfortunate for him. Yeah, then just trying to catch up to Zoxan Major. Yeah, he let me pass there, was quite fast. Just at good pace in general, and then yeah, just trying to catch up, and then more mayhem started to appearing. I had some PC issues, was lagging back, lost 6/10 to Major, couldn't close the gap, and of course you don't get your resources back, no extra fuel or DRS, I mean ERS, and the gap was quite huge. Just wanted to stay within 3 seconds, then also BK's disconnect elevated me up another place. Yeah, maybe with some luck Major gets another penalty, but yeah. P8, it's okay. We just had the race at the end of last season, and that was just a shit show 2 weeks ago. Ruined in turn 1, so yeah, quite happy with 4 points. And yeah, there's some some work to do. Super surprising how fast Major, BK, and MK are. That's going to be quite a tough battle for the season. I just take it from 19th to 8 is you can't complain, to be honest. It's good.
Are you expecting more points in the neighbor country from Belgium in France?
Yeah, let's see. I like France. I'm quite good with avoiding penalties. I'm good on tires. Not too sure what France tire degradation was. Let's see. Some races, like I think 16 races. Yeah, 16 races are or will be different in any terms because I changed the wheel last time out, and curbs are more drivable for me. So I hope to gain a couple of tenths there and put some work onto the setups as well that didn't work at all. For example, Bahrain and a couple other tracks. But for France, quite confident. I like the track, like the layout, quite good with it. We had a heavy rain race there last time out, so yeah, that was quite interesting as well. So yeah, just getting ready for it and hoping that I can finish in the points and yeah, beat the guys from Renault. So that's going to be the main target for the season. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to it. It will be a nice battle also in the Constructor Championship.
Yes.
And now we are moving on to a newcomer here, also in a Ferrari. Nice. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, from P12 to P14 wasn't the best race, I think, but what are your expectations for the race and for the season?
For the rest of the season?
No, also for your thoughts of the race.
Consistency, get points, hopefully. So it's really early in the morning here, so I'm a bit tired. But yeah, that race was a bit incident in the first corner took me out, and then I was sort of racing by myself for a while, so just having a Sunday drive by myself there. And qualifying was a bit disappointing as well. I was 400ths up on my time on my last lap, but then lost it. So that took me out. And yeah.
Yeah. Are you expecting points in the rest of the season, or are you just trying to survive the races?
I'm hoping for hopefully points every race in the points.
Okay.
A good one today.
I wish the best of luck for you. And how are your expectations for the next race in France?
Well, get a bit more sleep so that I'm not so tired whilst racing. Yeah, it's about 3 a.m. here. The races start for me, so need to rest up a bit better for the next one, I think.
Okay, then thanks for the interview.
Thanks.
And we are moving on to the Renault driver, the Major.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, from P15 to P6. Or P7, okay. Yeah, not normal for you, I think. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, qualifying was tough as always. Q2 trying to go with my risky strategy, somehow getting into Q3 on mediums because I don't like starting on softs. Didn't work out. Could have thought about it. P15, yeah, and then race start. Yeah, got pretty lucky with all the DNFs and spins and mistakes in front of me, and then just kept going. Everything to plan. Overtook Zoxon, and then pit stop, and always Hermann behind. He was pushing me very hard, and every time I looked at the Delta, it was getting a bit less. But somehow I managed to stay in front of him. It was a great push. He pushed me very good. yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Equaling my best result from last season in the first race this season. It feels a lot better this season.
Are you expecting to grab some points next week?
Oh, hopefully. I know that most people don't like Paul Ricard, and I don't really like it, but I'm fast, I think. So maybe I get time to train a little and then look what's happening next weekend.
Okay. And thanks for the interview.
Yeah.
If you could mute yourself.
Yes.
Thank you. Now for a few DNFs. We are starting off with Shiny, who had a lot of problems with his PC, and he has to mute himself.
Yeah, they're
Hello.
pretty.
Perfect.
And first of all, hello. I had a pretty shocking race, and I spun off many times. And yeah.
Okay.
This was my first time without any assists.
Yeah. Okay. Well. You drove your first laps without any assists, so you achieved something. But yeah, I think. Do you think you will drive next week in Paul Ricard as well?
From what I know, I think Crazy Kenneth is not present next race, so I think yes, if I have time.
Okay, then I wish you all the best for next week, and
Thank you.
And we'll move on with wait a second. Who DNF'd as well? I think Rising Soul. If you could unmute yourself.
What's up?
Hello. Yeah. DNF'd on I think it was the last lap at Radion. What happened?
Little snap in the back. The whole race, but yeah, I was pretty pissed off from the beginning on because I had a great start. Started 14th, came out of the first corner as 10th. Yeah, and then the downhill left-hander got a little, yeah, what should I say? Little push. so I spun and lost all the positions.
Perfect.
But could recover some of the lost ground. Lost some time behind LP Tobias. Drove like a 60 bot. I don't know what happened there. If the wheels, the tires from him weren't warm, or something. Then came Sparky. We had a little battle. Was some fun, but of course I wasn't any match for him. Yeah, and then lost the car again. Notched the front wing, and from then on, it was just a drive behind all the other drivers. And yeah, in a very pissed mood. And yeah, last lap, rally on top, little oversteer or something, and yeah, my back was gone.
Do you think you can score some points in France, or do you just want to survive?
Well, I don't think so. I hate France as a whole, the country,
Okay.
the people, the track, everything. Yeah, I try to survive, but it will be a drive behind us again, I assume. Maybe I will meet Tobias again and beat him. That's my only goal this season. And yeah, we'll see.
Okay, then thanks for the interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, what was that? And I think we that's it for today. What was also a great experience in English for the first time. And Shiny, you can mute yourself. Okay. Yeah, was fun. The first race, really exciting. And yeah, just also props to Ryan. Thanks for casting, and was a lot of fun. And yeah, that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Next week in Porica, and don't forget to watch tomorrow the 100% race in Zandvoort, and on on Monday the third league race, also here in Spa. And yeah, thanks for watching.